So we wanted to walk you through our project approval workflow. Now this approval workflow came from our time working at other MSPs and VARs, and we were routing things through email, making sure, people were getting the right spreadsheet to approve. I've been in scenarios where someone has approved a project, pricing in a spreadsheet and it was the wrong one, right? And so how do you eliminate that kind of back and forth manual process? And so we wanted to build a very intuitive project approval workflow inside of Scopestack. So let me show you around. First, you'll go out to settings, you'll go to project approval. And this is where you can set up 3 different stages. So technical approval, sales, and business approval. Technical approval is, who are the lines of business or the practice leaders that need to get notified every time a service related to their line of business is added to a project. So this will make sense when I show you, but for sake of this demo, I wanted to show you that, we have 3 different lines of business with one approver, myself being the one. And again, you could have multiple approvers on this approval step, and only maybe one person out of that list is required, right? And so there's some flexibility in that. Next, it'll automatically go to sales approval if this is toggled on, and it gives the sales executive an opportunity to adjust the price or something like that. Depending on their role, they cannot change level of effort or service or costing. It's really just a financial step at that point. And then because of that, we actually have business approval after the fact. And so you can set up a bunch of different logic and a bunch of different rules to test against to set up this business approval workflow. So as a practical example, we want our directors to approve everything that's under $100,000 and our VPs to approve everything over $1,000. And so you can segment these approval areas and make sure the right people are getting notified depending on the size of the project, or, one of the ones that we see a lot is the custom services. So if someone customized the service, they change language, they change level of effort, we automatically want that to trigger someone's approval before it goes out the door. So once you set all this up, let me show you what it looks like in practice inside of a project. And so I have one project out here that has a bunch of different services on it called SD-WAN project. And so you'll see this is currently in the status of building. And with this, I'm going to request approval. And so you'll see an approval section pop up over here on the left. And what you'll notice is, one, it created an automatic version number. So we create a version number every time we submit something through for approval. Now you can see this came to me, and I'm actually the approver for networking, right? So I'm gonna go in here and I'll approve this. And so after that, it will automatically be routed to the next step that matches the criteria that we set up in settings. And so right now it's under business approval as well, because this contract is over $10,000 in cost. Now the cool part about this is I can actually ad hoc add any additional approver at this step. So if I wanted to add Jamie here and make her optional, I can click that, click save. She'll get notified that I added her to this step and that her approval is optional. So with that, I can come in here and also approve it. Or I can say, hey, you need to go back and adjust the scope, adjust the price. In any of these notes, I like to compliment myself in demos. So great job. And I'll click approve on this one. And so one thing that you'll see is that this project has been approved, and you can see that under this status light right here. Now, once a project goes through the approval state, you have a bunch of different options, right? So I can push this to my PSA, I can create a project blueprint. There's a lot you can do once a project gets approved. And another important caveat is a project in an approved status is locked down. And so no one is gonna come back and make changes to this project without going back through project approval workflow. So again, thanks for checking this out. It's one of those features that we see used a lot, and we thought it'd be helpful to get you some content and walkthrough about it.